Yo, a brand new video.
Oh shit, here we go again.
It was sent to me through a friend. I really appreciate it. Which actually, I've never had this question in my head, and I don't think this question would ever be in my head until now. Why MLB, for those outside America, Major League Baseball, why MLB banned dwarves from baseball. Now, apparently, dwarves is a very, very derogatory term, so we're gonna call them little people, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, why Major League Baseball banned dwarves from baseball? Now I think about it, why was there a ban? Huh? The things you ask every day.
In 1951, MLB made a decision that effectively banned little people from playing Major League Baseball, ending the career of a 3'7" dwarf who was on pace to be the most productive player in MLB history. He is the only dwarf to ever play Major League Baseball. He got paid $100.
Jeez Louise, Ray's throwing it back.
That one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But come on. I'm sorry. I mean, look, man, if I'm not going to say it, someone else would have. Okay? Let's be completely honest here. It's kind of throwing it back.
Was instructed to jump out of a birthday cake and was under orders from this man that told him if he swung, he would be murdered. This is Bill Veeck, and he is the reason why MLB banned little people.
Floppy titties.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. No, that's my bad. He's old. That's not his fault.
In 1951. Today, this rule may not even be legal thanks to the Americans with Disability Act of 1990. If a team signed a little person today, there's a good chance MLB would have to reverse the ban, and teams and executives have actually debated doing this. In 2009, the York Revolution, an independent minor league team, signed Dave Flood, a 3'2" radio host.
Hold on. There's one thing I don't understand. I understand football and I understand basketball. Okay, now when it comes to baseball, are the minor leagues like the NBA D team? Is that what it is? I'm going to assume that's what it is.
Invited him to spring training with a chance to make the team. His job was to go to the plate, stand there, not swing, and see if a pitcher could throw 3 strikes. He went to the plate 4 times, only got walked once, struck out 3 times, and was cut from the team. However, Flood and many other observers blamed the umpire for this result. Understandably, he wasn't used to calling balls and strikes on a strike zone this small, which according to MLB rules is the area over home plate from the midpoint between a batter's shoulders and the top of his uniform pants, and a point just below the kneecap. This is Shohei Ohtani's strike zone. This would be Ohtani's strike zone if he shrunk 3 feet. Some believe a zone this small would make throwing a strike impossible, and if Ohtani woke up tomorrow unable to run, unable to field, 200 pounds lighter, and 3 feet shorter, he'd actually be more productive. But in 2014, the Buckingham Bluefish tried this in the Atlantic League, and again, the 4'1" batter struck out, showing that professional pitchers can hit small strike zones.
Well, I would assume so. I would assume professional strikers could hit a dot. Maybe I'm overestimating professional athletes' ability, or their abilities, I should say. But I'm pretty sure a professional pitcher today in the Major League Baseball organization could hit a small strike zone, even a small little dot from, feet away. If I say feet away.
Bill Veeck had a better idea to make the strike zone even smaller, using a loophole in the rule book. The strike zone isn't created based on a player's height. It's created when the batter is in his stance and prepared to swing at a pitched ball.
All right. Okay. Yeah, they just do the splits. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Have your balls touch the ground, man.
Meaning, if a 6'7" batter crouched low enough, he could have the same strike zone as a 4-foot batter, as long as this was his natural stance and he did it every time. So theoretically, if a team hired a dwarf who already had a small strike zone and had him crouch in the box, making his strike zone even smaller, nobody could get him out.
But how would you generate enough force to hit the ball? Because when it comes to force, it's from the feet up, right? Your stance, your hips, and of course the torque of your hips. So if you're all the way down there, how would you even have? I mean, I guess with your upper body, your torso, with rotation, you could probably generate enough force to probably hit it. But when it comes to power, everything is, if you're an athlete, you know this. It comes from your feet up. So how would you create enough torque and velocity? And the thing is, the enough velocity and torque in your upper half wouldn't be as strong enough if you don't have your full lower body or lower extremities involved to create that torque and create that velocity to hit the ball as hard as you can. So even if you're down there, you probably, even if you hit it, it wouldn't be as big as a hit. That's my assumption.
Knowledge. As long as there was a team crazy enough to try it. The Yankees did this in the 1920s because a dwarf convinced the team he had mythical powers. He never actually got to play, the team would just rub him for good luck before at-bats. The Athletics had a dwarf for good luck too, and even let him coach first base until the league banned him from coaching first base, and even Pedro Martinez began hanging out with Dominican actor Nelson de la Rosa during the 2004 playoffs because he was convinced he brought him good luck. But none of the following ever got into a game. The only owner crazy enough to actually try that was Bill Veeck. Veeck was a chain-smoking war veteran who lost his leg in World War II, wore a wooden leg which he used as an ashtray. He was the person who installed the IV at Wrigley Field, invented the take me out to the ball game tradition at Wrigley, and was the first—
That was him? To take me out to the ball game? That was him? Wow.
Ever to put players' last names on the back of their jerseys. He would also pull off the most insane stunts possible to get fans into the stadium. He once hired a clown and made him the first base coach, until the league got mad and made him stop. He signed a 56-year-old to play for his team so he could claim he had the oldest player of all time.
Wow.
Minnie Minoso did play and became the only player ever to play in 5 different decades. He had
5 different decades.
a promotion where he gave away 36 lobsters. He had a promotion where fans became the manager.
Shall we yank him? Oh, I'm sorry. At first I thought it said, shall we wank him?
For a game. He gave them signs and let them vote on decisions the manager was supposed to make. He even introduced the first exploding scoreboard, then took this to another level.
Bro, this guy was a pioneer. Jeez Louise, this guy's a trailblazer.
By exploding thousands of disco records on the field in between a doubleheader, which caused thousands to rush the field, causing a riot at the stadium, and they had to cancel the second game. When he managed a team in the minors, he installed a fence that would move back 15 feet every time the opposing team came to the plate, then move 15 feet back in when his team came to the plate. But his most infamous move was when he broke baseball by putting a dwarf on his team. Veeck was doing a promotion and wanted to add a surprise that stirred up publicity for his team and sponsors, so he hired Eddie Goodell, paying $100.
I'm sorry. This photo is so freaking funny, man. This photo is freaking hilarious, dude. I have to, every time I see this, every time I see this photo, I have to pause. This shit is so freaking funny, bro. Like, what is he doing? Like, please, daddy, give me a contract. I'm sorry. That was fucked. I'm sorry. That was fucked. I apologize. That was bad. That was bad. My bad.
Which was the minimum required payment for a dwarf act at the time. Then bought a cake to have Goodell jump out of. According to Veeck, the cake cost more than it cost to hire Eddie Goodell. He strategically mailed Goodell's contract to the league headquarters on a Saturday. Since they wouldn't see it until Monday, they had no chance to void the contract, officially making Goodell a major leaguer. Veeck had him crouched down in a stance that made his strike zone an inch and a half tall, and told him he was going to be on the roof of the stadium with a high-powered rifle, and if he even looked like he was going to swing, he was going to shoot him dead. Goodell, wearing number 1/8, climbed out of a...
That's dirty. That's so freaking wrong on so many levels. That is so wrong on so... Oh my goodness, man. 1/8? That is fucked, man. Oh my goodness.
Birthday cake in between the
Ah,
doubleheader.
the disrespect
Apparently
is crazy.
nervous by the large crowd, told Vec he didn't want to bat anymore. Vec then threatened to kill him again. In the first inning, Goodell pinch hit, and to everyone's surprise, a dwarf was at the plate. He walked on 4 straight pitches, went to first base, immediately got a pinch runner, and exited the game to a massive applause and laughter. Goodell instantly became known across the country and booked somewhere from $60,000 to $120,000 worth of bookings in today's dollars within a week of the stunt. A week later, he was arrested for public intoxication and told the police he was a professional baseball player. Vec would keep hiring him and once booked him to dress up as a Martian, invade the field, and abduct 2 players in another stunt years later. Goodell tragically passed away a decade later after getting beat up on the street while leaving a bowling alley and never got the chance to hit again.
Oh, that's a horrible way to go. Well, rest in peace.
Because the day after the stunt, the American League voided his contract, and MLB made a new rule that required the league president to approve each contract before a player enters a game, effectively banning little people from playing Major League Baseball. 50 years later, Commissioner Bud Selig doubled down on the ban, saying, quote, "It turned the game into a farce." But how effective would a team of little people actually be? Assuming the little person would be ineffective in the field and on the base pass, they would only be able to hit once per game, then be subbed out for a runner. According to calculations done by Nate Silver, if a little person led the game off with a walk, he would increase his team's winning odds by 4.6%.
Oh.
If he did this every single game, he would be worth somewhere between 7 to 8 wins.
Oh.
Last season,
That's
that
not-
would have made him the 4th most
never
productive
mind.
position player
Never mind.
in baseball.
Never mind. I take that back.
But that's assuming he would get walked every time. The last 2 times people have tried this resulted in the little people striking out. It's clear.
Well, you gotta also realize too, the players today, the strikers today, are a lot more athletic and a lot more accurate and a lot more better than the strikers over half a century ago, right? So, like I said before, the strikers now, I'm gonna assume they could hit a freaking tiny ass dot from tens of feet away. I'm going to assume, and at a very way higher velocity too, because now we have pitchers that are throwing 100 miles, 95, 98 fastballs. I mean, back then in the 1950s, sure, I could have been professional in the 1950s. Let's be honest here. Maybe I wouldn't, but okay. What I'm trying to say is the athletes today are a lot better and a lot stronger, a lot more athletic. Okay, so this whole little thing here.
What did he say?
This whole little thing. I didn't mean to say that. No pun intended. But this thing here, it wouldn't work. It would have worked back then, because all the athletes back then were ass. I'm sorry.
Pitchers would still hit the strike zone. According to baseball statistician Tom Tango, a walk is worth 0.03 wins, and an out is worth negative 0.027 wins. So for a little person who can only walk or get out and cannot field or run, he would need an on-base percentage of .530 to be an average yet serviceable MLB player. The question is, could MLB players strike them out more than 50% of the time?
I think they
leaguers
can.
like Francisco Rodriguez don't think so, saying he'd rather throw to Babe Ruth than a little person. A former general manager for the Astros doubted they could, saying if he was still a GM and MLB lifted the ban, he'd be willing to sign a little person. And author Todd Gallagher assembled an entire team of little people.
Am I overestimating? Am I overestimating the skills of a current MLB pitcher?
To face former major leaguer Dana Keuchel. He walked the first 5 batters in a row, ended up walking 7 of the 10 batters he faced, gave up 4 runs, left the game, and the team of little people finished with an on-base percentage of 700. If a little person
I don't know what that means, but okay.
consistently get walked at this rate, they would be the most effective pinch hitter in the game, and all it would take is someone like Bill Veeck with the balls to challenge MLB and try it.
It reminds me of, what's it called? He reminds me of who's the one owner of the Dallas Cowboys? Jerry Jones.
Paid what?
Vecna reminds me of Jerry Jones. And if you don't know who Jerry Jones is, he's the current owner of the Dallas Cowboys and NFL football team. There you go. Do your research.